Hello, my bursting boomerangs. It's your boy, Zionic Blader, and welcome to my collection video. So, due to some certain circumstances, I won't be able to really buy any more Bakugan or go into any back hunts for a while. So I think it's a good time to actually show the collection that I have accumulated these past, I think, half a year now. I think Bakugan came out December, like late December in the US, or some parts of the US, and then like halfway through January in Canada. But yeah, I'm gonna show you pretty much my entire collection that I've accumulated since then. Now, I store my Bakugan and my loose cards into the starter deck boxes because these things are some pretty high quality stuff. Also, it's cool to reuse any cardboard that you can. So I pretty much keep my Bakugan in here, and as well as my loose commons as well. But anyways, I'm gonna start off my collection by showing you guys the diamonds that I've accumulated. Alright, here are my sealed diamonds. Now, you might be thinking, oh, you're a scalper or something, but no, I was actually, I didn't realize that diamonds would become extremely rare after Wave 1. Like, I mainly picked up these doubles, mainly because I wanted to use them for trade. But now it seems like these are probably the most common diamonds out there. You know, I've come across Diamond Hydra so many times, and Diamond Maxo so many times that I just leave them on the shelf if I ever come across any more of them. Because, I mean, at this point I have like 2 box Diamond Hydroses, 2 of the Diamond Maxo sets, and then a Diamond Dragonoid. Yeah, these are mainly for trades now. Or maybe for birthday presents for my best friends in the world. Or maybe even for giveaways as well. You never know, right? But anyways, now I'm going to show you the diamonds that I've unboxed. So obviously we have to start off with the titular character Pyrus Dragonoid in his diamond form. I got super lucky because I was like the first person in my entire city to actually find Bakugan, and then I was able to come across the Diamond Dragonoid and the Diamond Hydra Ultra on my first sighting of Bakugan. I really like how the red stands out compared to the clear color, and this was before they did the whole shiny paint on it, so the color is mainly opaque. But yeah, let's see how. Just open this guy up like this. For some reason my Dragonoid has a problem with its wings. There we go. It looks really magnificent when it's all opened up with its clear plastic and everything. I know that when diamonds were first introduced, people were kind of surprised that their stats were so high, because at that time we didn't even know evolutions were a thing. You know, we just thought that the base stats were whatever was on the app or whatever the character card was. So we did not know that diamonds were actually evolutions, even though it said Evo, because there really wasn't that much of a precedent beforehand. But it turns out that diamonds were not that good in the long run. I mean, like stats-wise and competitive-wise, diamonds are only good for cosmetic, because their hyper or titan evolutions are much better than their diamond evolutions in the long run. Plus, diamond evolutions tend to be way too expensive. But anyways, let's take a look at the next diamond that I have. There we go. Diamond Hydrosis Ultra. Whoop. Whoops, looks like it opened on its own. There we go. Now, yeah, it was pretty interesting seeing the Ultra Diamonds for the first time, mainly because they had a lot more opaque plastic compared to the diamond cores. I mean, it's not too bad, but I mean, when you're looking at all the Bakugan together in their ball form, sometimes you can kind of like confuse an Ultra Diamond Bakugan for just a regular Bakugan because there's so much opaque plastic on it. But Diamond Hydrosis Ultra, it's probably the cheapest Bakugan Diamond that you can get on the secondary market. If you want a Bakugan Diamond just for saying you want a Diamond Bakugan, then I guess like Diamond Hydra Ultra, because I mean you can probably find it for $25 to $30 Canadian, compared to all the other diamonds where they go for like $50 to $120, which is absolutely insane. I wouldn't spend that much money on a Diamond Bakugan, but some people have the means for it, so they do it. But anyways, this was the second single Ultra that they have, and then they showed off the triple pack, the Diamond Maxo Ultra triple pack, and this is the only Maxo that I ever picked up, mainly because it's the diamond one, and really Maxo is kind of the Bakugan that doesn't have any good forms of it. I don't know why. At least as far as I know, Diamond. As far as I know, Maxator in general isn't that good of a Bakugan at all, which is kind of disappointing because it has such a dominating presence, you know, because it's such a big boy, you know. It's kind of a shame that its stats tend to be really horrible, especially that Pyrus Maxator Ultra. Oh my goodness, I don't know what they were doing with that. They give such a really nice looking design Bakugan such poor stats, and then you can't really use it at the end of the day. But this was the Ultra of the set, and then we had the first Chaos Diamond Bakugan, Chaos Pegatrix. Now, Chaos Pegatrix looks really, really good in its ball form. But let's open her up. Oh. Uh-oh. There we go. That's weird. This one has some trouble opening up sometimes. Oh my goodness. There we go. Jeez. But yeah, the blue is really stands out with this diamond color. But yeah, Chaos Pegatrix has some really good stats on her as well. You know, and she's like the main Bakugan to use. Her and Oralists Pegatrix, they're like the main Bakugan to use in a Green Fist team. Unfortunately, I've never been able to find any Evos for Chaos Pegatrix, which is really weird because I've been able to get a lot more like really rare cards like Pact of Darkness and all that, but getting the Evo for Chaos Pegatrix seems to be an issue that I have. And then next up is my favorite Diamond Bakugan. Whoops. Diamond Trox. Yeah. Let's just open him up. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. You can't really see much of the detail on camera, but you know, it's really, really good looking. Trox is like super cute, and having all the versions of Trox is what I want to do with my life. He also has some manual parts. A couple Bakugan have some manual parts, but there we go. Look at that. But next, let's go to the most recent Bakugan that I've picked up, the Diamond Hydrosis. Diamond Hydrosis is one of the Bakugan that I really wanted to pick up. I essentially want to pick up the main character Bakugans in their Diamond form. There are some Diamond Bakugans I don't really care for, like the what's it called, like Diamond Gortheon or Diamond Garganoid Ultra. That thing I don't really care for, mainly because I don't know. I care more about the main character stuff, even though I don't even watch the show, which I don't even know why. But I guess I'm more inclined to use him as well. But yeah, this is my first ever Hydrosis core that I have obtained in my collection, which is pretty funny that the diamond one would be the first one. But I really like how the really like sparkly kind of look that they used with the paint for the opaque colors. It really helps give off that vibe that this is a premium skin compared to the original version. Unfortunately, this guy, you can't really use him in a competitive setting. You know, I just recently did an unboxing and review of it, and Oralist Trox is pretty much better in every single way compared to Hydrosis. So, yeah, at least it looks good. My main gripe with it is that it doesn't really look like a lion. I guess if you think about it hard enough, you can see, oh, it's a lion, but it's not really my first reaction when I look at this Bakugan. I think more of a platypus than a actual lion. But, you know. Anyways, next we're going to look at the Bakugan faction that I have the least of. The funny thing is that I only have 2 non-diamond Aquos Bakugan. Not sure why. Aquos is one of the more powerful factions in the entire game, mainly because of Flow. Flow is extremely powerful if you can get going off. You can get some high numbers with it. Then we have Aquos Fangzor. Aquos Fangzor is one of the better Fangzors in the lineup. 600 B power base, and its evolution allows you to draw 3 cards when you play it. And since you can kind of stack up evolutions, you know, you got a really good combo going there. Especially since Flow, you want to have a nice flow of cards in your hand, so you can keep on using flow effects each turn, right? So having a Bakugan that lets you draw cards when you evolve it is really good as well. And then the second non-diamond Aquos Bakugan that I have is Ultra Sin Deus. This is like my least favorite Bakugan to close up because it's so weird to put up. Not sure why. I just don't. It really doesn't feel good to close this guy. But the cool thing about him is that, oh, it's stuck. There we go. The cool thing about Aqua Sin Deus is that when he opens up, he holds up the core like a shield. Get it? Just look at that. There you go. I used the shield cord as his shield. But even his details look really cool. The only thing that kind of irks me is like the weird leg kind of thing. He has like 2 legs in the front and then there's like 1 on the back. But I mean, it's not really his canonically used leg. It's just like a stand to keep the Bakugan from like falling over. But yeah, this guy, he is mainly to use for decks that use Frost Strike or whatever. Frost Strike hasn't really been shown to do that well, but I don't know. And now we'll take a look at the second faction that I have the least amount of Bakugan for. If we are going to show off the Ventus Collection, we obviously have to start off with my favorite Bakugan in the entire series, Trox. Look at this guy. You know, he has the manual arm parts. Just gotta open him up like this. But it's really interesting how Trox Core became my favorite Bakugan. You know, I just saw its design, and it's just essentially it's a ball with arms, legs, a tail, and a head protruding out of it. And it's absolutely adorable. One of the most cutest Bakugan in the entire game, and which is funny because its character card is a T-Rex, and T-Rexes are like the apex predator of the Jurassic world, you know what I'm saying? So to have his core version be absolutely adorable is crazy. And then I ended up making a bunch of memes out of him, and now he is my channel mascot, which I really love. And then he is a stark difference compared to his older brother, who is so tall that he is off the screen. Trox Ultra. I think my only gripe with Trox Ultra is that he has like a screw in his head. I mean, he just might be that way from birth. But yeah, he has also, like his little brother Trox, he has some manual parts on his arms. These ones are kind of a bit more difficult to jeez, whoops. There we go. Yeah, his arms are a bit more difficult to take out, but yeah, when you look how his arms look compared to the rest of the body, it's kind of derpy. But yeah, I mean, that's Trox Ultra. I wish I could find a Diamond Trox Ultra. That's one of the Diamond Bakugan that I really want to pick up, because I mean, I love Trox, right? Trox is one of my favorite Bakugan, if not my favorite Bakugan. I don't think there's many other Bakugan that I could really say that, oh, it's my channel mascot. Maybe Dragonoid, but yeah. And then obviously we have Mantanoid Ultra. I know Mantanoid Ultra was really hyped up in the whole YouTuber kind of event that they had in January. Now the cool thing about Mantanoid Ultra is that he takes up such the presence. Like there's not many other Bakugan that take up that much of a presence like Mantanoid Ultra. You know, his stats are really good too. I think it's like 601. Even the core stats are really good as well. And yeah, I've never been able to find a Mantanoid Ultra Evolution, unfortunately, in my card collection. But man, he's absolutely Mantanoid Ultra is a she Bakugan. That's what they said in the application. It's like, oh, she is very jittery or something. I don't know, but yeah, the cool thing is that every member of the exit team, they each have a Mantanoid Ultra on their team. So maybe I should collect every Mantanoid Ultra. But there are some Mantanoid Ultras that aren't that good. But I don't know. It's mainly for fun, right? But my main problem with Mantanoid Ultra is trying to close it, because she's very finicky, just like her character is. Like, you just do like one tap and then it explodes, which is kind of a pain when you're trying to store everything in a cardboard box, so you never know when this thing is going to burst open and then cause a chain reaction. And then we have Serpentine's core. Surprisingly, I have more Serpentine's cores than I have Serpentines, which is kind of funny because I use Serpentine's Ultra in my deck as the boss monster. So yeah, I haven't really seen any Serpentines that are worth using besides the Pyrus one. Maybe the Darkest Core one. That one has a good I think Fire Fist effect, which can be used in Fire Fist decks, but whatever. It doesn't look as dominating as Ultra, mainly because it's shorter and everything, and you don't really have it standing up to present its T-pose as elegantly as the Ultra version. But next up, we're gonna look at the next set of Bakugan are tied actually, Chaos and Darkus. So I guess first we'll take a look at Darkus. Back during the original Bakugan run, I tried to not buy any Darkus Bakugan. Really, the only Darkus Bakugan I picked up was Hydronoid, and then everything else I got because it came in like a triple pack or a double pack or something. But yeah, I ended up using Darkus Bakugan in my deck, mainly because Darkus Bakugan now are like some of the most powerful Bakugan in the entire game. They also have Pact of Darkness, which is super, like the most powerful flip card in the entire game, and the best one to have in your deck as well. So yeah, pretty much if you want to be, in most cases, if you want to have a solid deck, you want to have a Pact of Darkness in your deck. But I got lucky with Pact of Darkness, where I just got 3 copies just randomly. I did not have to go hunting for packs to get the Pact of Darkness. It just came to me naturally. So I guess it was meant to be, where I have a deck with Darkus Bakugan. But anyways, yeah, Darkus Bakugan is the more edgy kind of faction. If you have a character that has Darkus Bakugan, he or she is probably the edgy character of the series. Ooh. Now first up is Darkus Neleus Ultra. Wave 2 came a bit later in Canada. Well, I mean, pretty much everything comes a bit later in Canada, but yeah, I don't know. I prefer the core version of Neleus Ultra. Neleus Ultra, I mean, the core version of Neleus compared to Neleus Ultra. Neleus Ultra is pretty cool. It looks like a kaiju, but I don't know. I kind of like the cores. For the most part, I like cores compared to Ultras. That's just my taste. And this guy's kind of a pain to close, but I mean, what are you going to do? And then, here we go. We got another Serpentine. I'm just going to open him up. There we go. Now, I really like the green in its eyes and fangs, but if you have green teeth, you should probably get that checked out. But it really helps accentuate the details of this Bakugan. I wish there was a bit more green, maybe in the wings. That would be pretty cool. But his stats are okay. He has an effect for Fire Fist, but I think Darkus Hydra Ultra is a better choice to use compared to the Darkus Serpentine's core. Speaking of Hydra Soldier, there we go. Oops. Let me open him up. I guess. Now, this is a Bakugan that I'm borrowing from my friend. I've actually been borrowing it for a few months until I can buy the battle pack, which is weird. I don't know why I haven't picked it up in so long. I guess because it's like $40. It's kind of difficult sometimes to warrant paying $40 for a set. I mean, yeah, like sometimes when I go shopping for Bakugan, I tend to only spend like $20 to $30. $40 is quite a bit, and like after tax is going to be almost $50 Canadian. That is, I guess that's the problem with being Canadian sometimes. But I mean, at least we have free healthcare, right? But yeah. This Bakugan is like super powerful. He's like one of the most powerful Bakugan in the entire game. 800 B power just from its base stats alone. It's incredibly insane, and plus his evolution I haven't been able to find, which is kind of weird because it's not that rare. It's an awesome rare, I think, and I've been able to find multiples of like certain cards that are even higher rarity. But Kodak has said that there is a printing kind of thing that they do or like, oh, you're gonna only get like a certain batch of cards in like certain packs, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I haven't really bought many packs lately, mainly because I'm waiting for the booster boxes to come out, because they tend to be they tend to be more value for your dollar compared to just buying bulk booster packs. But whatever. But yeah, this guy also has green teeth syndrome, so he has to get his teeth checked, if you have to ask me. And then we have an incredibly beautiful Pegatrix, Darkest Pegatrix. This guy is like a nice, fancy car, you know? A fancy sports car with that clean black finish, and the green really accentuates the details as well. I really love the green horn and the green eyes. This guy really shows a evil, threatening aura to him, which is a bit weird because this is like the weakest Pegatrix in the entire lot. Like, I really wish the stats were better, like, but 200 B power is way too low, especially since he doesn't really have like much to offer in the game. But he looks cool though. And then we have Fangzor Ultra. I really like how it looks in its ball form. It's like a kind of like a, what's it called, a animal disguise kind of thing, where it's like, oh, if you run into this in the wild, people won't mess with it because of these eyes. And then it stands up, and now you really don't want to mess with it. This guy is like super tall. I think he is the tallest Bakugan in my collection. I mean, like, look at that. Such a majestic presence, like a Egyptian snake. But yeah, this Bakugan is actually pretty good. It's one of there's only 2 Bakugan in the Darkest faction, at least from Wave 3 and beyond, Wave 1 to 3, where they have a Magic Shield. And Magic Shield is one of the better, was like the best kind of course to have in your deck. But yeah, Mantinoid Ultra, Darkest Mantinoid Ultra has a Magic Shield core, but its stats aren't really that good. But Darkest Fangzor has a Magic Shield core, and it is pretty good. I think its base stats, let's see. Base stats are 600. That is actually really, really good. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the Chaos faction. You know, because I am Zeonic Blader, we obviously have to start off with Chaos Trox Core. I mean, this guy actually really surprised me. His stats are phenomenal. Let me double check. I think it was a, oh wait, never mind. I don't know why I thought his stats were really good. They're 300. I don't know. But, a white T-Rex looks really cool. And the blue is really pretty as well. He's got some blue eyes. A white with blue eyes, okay. I know who'd like that. But, yeah, actually, that's more of a teal kind of color. Yeah. But anyways, the next Bakugan we gotta show off is Mantinoid Core. There we go. Mantinoid is one of my favorite core Bakugan as well, because she's really chubby as well, or chunky. There we go. Look at those eyes, blue eyes, and kind of like a tealish kind of thing. Looks a bit more like lighter blue on the camera, but it is teal, I believe. But yeah, I really wanted to pick up a Ventus version, but because the Ventus version comes in a battle pack, I kind of held off on it until I can get a battle pack. But you know, battle packs are like $40 a pop, so it's kind of tough sometimes to warrant purchasing it. But yeah, I really like how she looks. I think she is green, double green fist, and yes, she is the Bakugan that I was really surprised with her stats. She has like 500 B power, which is much higher, which is like the more of the higher end of the Bakugan. And then obviously, bam, Willis Neleus Ultra. This guy came in a starter pack, and yeah, unfortunately, this guy lives in the shadow of Neleus Core, because Neleus Core is like one of the most powerful Bakugan in the entire game. You know, well, at least his evolutions are. But using a team centered around Chaos Neleus is really cool. And the cool thing about that is that the Bakugan that you can really surround it with are super powerful. You got like Dragonoid Ultra, you got the Oralists Howlcore, and you also got some nice Bakugan coming out in the future that can really take advantage of the core lineup that Chaos Neleus has. But man, Chaos Neleus. Now this is a core in Wave 3, and if you can get the core in Wave 3, you should get it. But otherwise, it's in a starter deck, and it's on the weaker starter deck as well, because the best starter deck to get is the starter deck that comes out with Chaos Howlcore. Mainly because that starter set came with some nice evolutions for Oralists Pegatrix. But yeah, Chaos Howlcore. I wish Darkest Howlcore had a bit more beef to him, but Chaos Howlcore is okay. At least his evolution is okay. It's good for DNA or Helix. I think they're called Helix decks, but yeah, I don't think Helix decks are really that popular, at least compared to Shield and Green Fist decks. But maybe one day. But unfortunately, this guy's stats were kind of disappointing. So he has such a menacing presence because he's a three-headed dog, a Cerberus, the gatekeeper of hell, and he happens to have like 300 B power. Luckily, Pyrus Howlcore is really good. Well, I mean, not really good, but it has a niche kind of thing to it. But anyways, the next most common, well, not next most common. I have quite a bit of these guys. It is Dragonoid. I mean, Oralists Dragonoid, but whoops. There we go. Yeah, I really like some of the Oralist Bakugan. I kind of prefer Oralist Bakugan to Diamond Bakugan, but I don't really collect all the Oralist Bakugan. I really love the silver to it. The kind of thing that kind of bums me out is that the Oralist Bakugan don't look like they do in the packaging. In the packaging, they look like gold-plated Bakugan. I mean, if we can get gold-plated Bakugan in the future, I'd pay a premium for that in a set. As long as they don't make it super hard to find, I'd be cool with that. Maybe it'll be like a promo Bakugan or something. But yeah, the silver really is really cool with it, and the Oralist Bakugan have some really great stats. I think this guy is 400 B power or something. He is, yeah, 400 B power. It's a bit below average. His complete stat line is kind of below average, but compared to normal Bakugan, it's still pretty high. And then we have Oralists Pegatrix. This guy is one of the most powerful Bakugan in the entire game. Double Green Fist, and the evolution is cheap and powerful. You can't really get any better than Oralists Pegatrix. I think as a whole package, as a complete Bakugan, this guy is one of the more powerful ones. There are Bakugan that are stronger than it in its base form, but I think when we take into account how fast its evolution is, it's really good. Next up we have there we go. Some of these guys are way too tall for the camera. We have Oralists Fangzor Ultra. This guy obviously had the silver and gold, really makes an Egyptian snake like in The Mummy. But unfortunately, this guy is worse than his Oralists Fangzor Core counterpart. Oralists Fangzor Core is pretty much better in every way, which is kind of a shame because sometimes you kind of expect the Ultras to be better in stats, but then really the Ultras are just a toy kind of gimmick rather than a actual stat kind of thing. Their stats tend to be much more different compared to their regular forms. So not regular forms, but other faction versions of it. And then we have Willis Neleus. Interestingly enough, Willis Neleus has been released quite a bit. He's also one of the more powerful Oralist Bakugan with 500 B power and 5 damage, I think. I think so. He has the similar stat line to Dragonoid Ultra, Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I know he also has a really great evolution where you discard the evolution and you can play it for free, which is really good for Darkest decks because they tend to discard a lot of Bakugan. And then next we have, there we go, Garganoid Ultra. You know, when I first saw Garganoid Ultra, I did not really like its design because it looks like a spider. You know, if you watched my last video where my brother was guessing what kind of Bakugan were what, he thought this was a spider, which I can see why. At least in photos, it looks like a spider, but when you actually take a look at it, you can see its head and everything, but still, it doesn't look like it looks more like a spider rather than a crouching gargoyle. But I guess if I really look at it in certain angles, I can kind of see it. But this guy is also one of the more powerful Oralists Bakugan in the entire game. I use this guy as my starting Bakugan in my team, mainly because when you're in your first turn, you really don't have much energy. You just have one energy, and this guy gets like what plus 300 B power or plus 200 B power when it lands on a Fire Fist. So it's a really good boosting in the first turn, pretty much. And his evolutions are pretty decent as well. Like 3 for like 1200 or something, like after it runs on the Fire Fist. But yeah, I use this guy as my starter Bakugan, which is a bit fun, a bit ironic because I did not expect to be using this guy because he was like, my first impression of this guy was that he was like ugly. Sorry. But anyways, next we're gonna look at the faction that I have the most of, and that is Pyrus. And then obviously we have to start off with Pyrus Dragonoid. There we go, the titular main character Bakugan. Though he doesn't look like this in the TV show, he looks more like Dragonoid Ultra, but I think he has the core stats, or maybe he doesn't, I'm not sure. But yeah, I know some people were kind of irked out by its initial release of the design, but I really like this, the core version, maybe even more than the Ultra version, just because it's chubby, and I know some people have a problem with that, but I don't. I think it's more to love, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously the after Dragonoid core, you obviously have to show off Dragonoid Ultra. There we go. And he's a bit too tall for the frame. Gotta refocus it. But yeah, Dragonoid Ultra is the most disappointing Bakugan that I've ever gotten. Like, I kind of feel cheated for buying it, kind of, because everyone was like super hyped up for Dragonoid Ultra. It had 500 B power, 5 damage, and it had a Fire Fist and Magic Shield kind of lineup. Same thing as Chaos Neleus. So people are like, oh, I'm going to use Chaos Neleus. I'm going to tag team him with Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra, and it's going to be a whole good day. And then it turns out that it can't really hold on to cores because it just shoots them off, it just shoots off the cores, which was really annoying because it's too much of a liability in a game. Because even if the base stats were really good, if it does not get any boosting with a shield, then it's going to be overtaken by any Bakugan that lands on a core. Sorry, not shield. But luckily they fixed it with the release of Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. But then at the same time, I kind of feel cheated out because I bought this one and I can't really use it, and now I have to buy Hyper Dragonoid Ultra to even stand a chance in the competitive scene if I want to use a Dragonoid Ultra. So I really feel bad for that guy who spent $150 on Dragonoid Ultra. Oh man, poor guy. But I mean, you know, there's a sucker born every day, right? So anyways, next up we obviously have to show off Fangzor Ultra. Fangzor Ultra in his ball form kind of looks like Dragonoid Ultra, except for the detail, but I mean, here we go, Pyrus Fangzor Ultra. I'm not sure if this guy is any good stat-wise. I don't know its evolutions or not. 400 B power, that's pretty big for a Pyrus Bakugan that's not Dragonoid Ultra. But I mean, you know, he's nothing really special. And then the next guy, he was a bit more exciting when he came out. Sin Deus Ultra Pyrus. Now, I mean, his base stats aren't that good. However, the cool thing about Pyrus Sin Deus is that it is a dual shield Pyrus Bakugan. So if you wanted to build a shield deck and you wanted to add Pyrus to your team, now you can with Pyrus Sin Deus Ultra. There might be another Bakugan that's Pyrus with 2 shields. I'm not too sure, but as far as I know, he's pretty much a Darkus Neleus, but a bit weaker. I mean, kind of a shame that you're like a weaker, Darkus Neleus. I haven't looked at the evolutions for Sin Deus Ultra, so I couldn't say for sure if he's like really powerful or not. I mean, Pyrus Sin Deus Ultra. But then, next we have Pyrus Hydrosis Ultra. He looks really cool. I was really excited to pick up a, Fire Lion starter deck, but unfortunately his evolutions aren't that good. They're okay, but I mean, he serves kind of a niche purpose. I think he destroys energy cards or something, but yeah, his evolution was way too expensive and didn't really have that much B power, so at the end of the day, he was kind of a liability to have in your team. And then, I wonder what this guy is. Oh, I think this is Gortheon. Yes, it is. Monkey. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent about Gortheon. Like, I'm not gonna... It's not a Bakugan that I want to collect. Like, I don't care for his diamond form. I mean, it has 400 beat power, which is pretty good, but I mean... It's a monkey. It's a ape from Planet of the Apes. And then my favorite Pyrus Bakugan has to be Serpentine Ultra. He is the boss monster of my deck. And plus I made like a whole video as a tribute to the power of Serpentines, of T-posing Serpentines. What a magnificent creature, The T-pose is absolutely beautiful. Even though its base stats are like 300 B power, it kind of makes up for it for his evolution. In 2 turns, you have a 1500 B power Bakugan if you have no cards in your hand. I really like playing with Fury and Sacrifice, mainly because it's like it's kind of a risky kind of thing because you have no cards in your hand. So if you mess up, you're really screwed. So you have to be really careful when you're playing with Serpentine Ultra, because if you have cards in your hand, then Serpentine Ultra isn't that good. But if you don't have cards in your hand, then he is like one of the most powerful Bakugan in the game. It's that kind of mix of a bit of a risk and reward kind of thing, which really makes me dig its dig Serpentine Ultra in general. But that is all of my Bakugan. Now we gotta take a look at the cores that I've accumulated in these past 6 months. Now obviously I'm not gonna go through every single core because I mean, cores, you see one, you've seen them all, but I mean, look at that. It's quite the spectacle, it adds up a lot, and now I'm like, oh, where do I really put these cores? Where do I really store them? I guess I can store them with my my common cards, but I mean, I'm not really sure. Because they tend to get, tangled into each other, and then it's kind of annoying. But, yeah, I mean, these are pretty generic. These are, all, generic cores. There's nothing special about these ones. I mean, there's some that have some really good stats, some that have some really bad stats. That's pretty much all I can tell you. Because, I mean, I haven't really marked them. I haven't really marked any of these with my signature or anything to just in case there's a game or something. I kind of just base it off of gentleman's a gentleman's kind of thing where it's like, oh, if a core is mine, then I know it's mine. If a core is not mine, then I'll make sure that my opponent has it. But oh yeah, I never showed you. I ended up taking this box from the card box from Toys R Us because I mean I got the last of their packs, so I was like, I might as well just have this set as well, and I really keep my excess cards. So I have play sets of stuff, but then things that I have even more than 3 copies of, I just put them in a pile and then I keep them in this box. Maybe one day someone will need it, or I can use it for a trade or something, or I don't know. Because there's some holographic hex cards in there. But anyways, I should probably show you the deck that I play with. There you go. So yeah, this is the deck that I play with. I use Dragon Shield sleeves, because I mean they're standard card size sleeve, right? And they also come with a really cool design box, you know. And since Serpentine Ultra is in my team, I kind of just like, oh, I might as well just show off. I might as well just get the red one, and then I can show off my colors and everything. Oops, let's take these guys out. Oh yeah, I think these are the cores that I should show you, because I mean these are the ones that I use in my deck. You know, it is a Green Fist and Fire Fist deck that focuses on Fury. I use Green Fist and Fire Fist mainly because Garganoid Ultra and Hydrosis Ultra benefit from landing on Fire Fist, so you know, might as well. So we got plus 250, plus 3. For some reason I have plus. I don't know why I have that in my deck. There's much better ones. 150 plus 4. 250 plus 3. 150 plus 1. 150 plus 2. Yeah, I might have to update my core lineup mainly because I have since gotten more Bakugan since I've updated this deck, because I haven't really updated this deck in a really long time because I haven't bought packs in a while. But yeah, here are some bonus cards for some reason they have. Not sure why they're here. I guess I took them out of my deck and replaced them with other cards. But yeah. Now here is my deck. You know, I use Serpentine Ultra, Garganoid Ultra, see, plus 400. So if you land on this guy's going to be doing 1100 B power, which is extremely difficult to get over on the first turn. You know, that's why I always use him in the first turn. And then Hydra Ultra. But yeah, my whole thing is that I start off with Garganoid Ultra, then I use Hydra Soldier on turn 2, and then on turn 3, hopefully I can evolve Serpentine Ultra and be OP. And then obviously we have all these cards. I mainly focus on discarding cards and doing as much damage, increase my B power as much as I can. But yeah, there's some pretty strong cards. Prismatic Shield is pretty good for the darkest card. I know that Chaos is much better when it comes to like increasing your B power. But yeah, I have like 5. I have 5 flip cards right now. They're all the ones that save you from damage, and they're like the 4 energy ones where, like, if you meet a certain condition, then you can play it for free. Yeah, ooh, Hex Hyper Serpentine Ultra. And I stopped buying the packs because I was like, oh, TCG player came out, and then now I'm gonna be able to now I'll be able to like buy singles. Unfortunately, TCG player, they don't really ship to Canada, because apparently shipping to Canada is really expensive for some reason. But yeah, ooh, I used Fire Boost. If unfortunately we did not get those promos in the Toys R Us event, otherwise would have gone. And then ooh, Hex Pact of Darkness. I know Pact of Darkness became a really expensive card for some reason. I guess because it's like the most popular. It's the most popular flip card essentially. So that's probably why people are head over heels for Pact of Darkness. But yeah, I wouldn't really spend so much money on on singles for a game that doesn't really have any local support. I mean, that's just me. I'd spend a few dollars on some evolution cards and all that, but like the main, I don't know. I don't know why I just started putting all my all my cores into the box. But anyways, now let's take a look at my binder. Yeah, so I keep a binder not for trade, but just so I can like look through cards leisurely without like getting my grubby paws on the singles. But I first start off by having all of my character cards in the front of it, just so I can go through them before, just so I can go through and like look at the stats of each card that I have. Yeah, I've collected quite a bit of these. Bakugan. And it just kind of ends with Fangzor Ultra. So I guess, yeah, and then obviously up to the Pyrus Bakugan, we got Hyper Dragonoid, and then a Titan Dragonoid. Yeah, it's just a regular Titan Dragonoid, it's not a Hex. And then we have Diamond Dragonoid over here. Just gotta turn the page. We got Hyper Fangzor. We got a Hyper Mantinoid Ultra. This is a, I think, double Green Fist Fire Pyrus Bakugan, which is pretty cool for people who want to have a Pyrus Bakugan in their Green Fist deck. And then Diamond Fangzor. I don't know how I feel about this guy. You know, 1200 B power is quite a bit, but I mean, for 6 energy, yeah, get out of here. And then Titan Fangzor. Yeah, a bit more expensive for my taste. And then we have Hyper Hydrosis Ultra. Ooh. He's pretty generic, Hyper Hydrosis Ultra. But then we have Titan Hydrosis Ultra. You know, for 6 energy, you destroy an enemy's energy card. There are some Pyrus Bakugan that have effects to destroy energy cards. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's an interesting thing. Like, maybe if you can team it up with the Ventus Bakugan, it'll really give you the advantage to your opponent for having more of the energy cards. I think Pyrus Ventus destroying energy cards for your opponent and getting more energy cards for yourself would be an interesting combination to use. But then we have a Hyper Hydrosis. Yeah, he's essentially like a Aquos Hydrosis. However, he gains like damage instead of B power. Not sure if that's any better, but I mean, it depends on what you're doing, right? Then we have, obviously, Hyper Trox. I mean, it's okay. Pyrus Trox, Victor, +2 damage. No, it's +2 energy. Huh. Interesting. This guy would probably be good in an energy gaining deck as well. Put him with Ventus Trox and all that. And we got the super rare Titan Mantinoid Ultra. Discard a card, get +400 B power. It's okay. I guess you can discard multiple cards, so we got Hyper Fangzor +900. 900 with Shadow Sneak. Then Darkest Hyper Trox for 3 energy at 900, and then ooh, this guy's actually pretty good. I think people use Darkest Trox in a deck that's focused around there's a deck that's like mono Darkest. They use Hyper Trox for it. Ooh, 4 for 1000. That's not that good, but I mean, hey, it's something. Then we have Hyper Hydrosis Ultra. Yeah, the Chaos Hydrosis is not that good. But I mean, hey, like, then we got Hyper Garganoid Ultra with 3 energy for 700. Not too bad. I mean, if you have 3 or more heroes in play at +500 B power, which I mean, it's good for Chaos decks that have a lot of have a lot of hero cards. And then we have Titan Milius. This guy is really, really good. Look at that, +200 B power, and you can add an additional back core to it. Man. And then we have 3 copies of the Titan Holocore Ultra. Now, my binder, it doesn't really go by rarity. I mean, it kind of does, but I mean, I pretty much put in anything that is Hex, rare, I mean, super rare and above, or it is a character card, evolution card, or a hero card. Not sure why. And then we have Hyper Neleus. Yeah, Hyper Neleus actually isn't that bad. I mean, as like a filler card, if you don't have Titan Neleus in your deck right now. Titan Neleus, I don't know how expensive it is right now, but there isn't really a meta, so it shouldn't be too expensive. But I mean, yeah, Hyper Neleus. This is the one that comes in the starter deck, so not bad. Then we have Hyper Fangzor. Yeah, Domination. I mean, if you're playing Domination, then it should be fine. Then we have Diamond Gortheon Ultra, plus 6 energy, so it's not worth using. Hyper Fangzor. There we go, 3 copies of him. And then these are all Hex foils for some reason. I don't know why I got so many Hex foils of Hyper Pegatrix. It'd be interesting to play this guy in a Magic Shield deck. I mean, plus 1,000 B power. That's absolutely insane. You get 1,600 B power, and then that's not even counting the the boost that you get from the Magic Shield. So it's probably going to be like 2,200 B power, which is absolutely insane. I don't think many Bakugan that's stronger than Dragonoid Ultra. Or no, wait, Dragonoid Ultra's, I'm not sure. It's probably not stronger than Dragonoid Ultra, but I mean, this guy is quite the threat. I don't know where to get the Ventus guy though, Ventus Pegatrix, or if it's even worth getting. Then we have Hyper Neleus Turbo. You have the most energy cards. It's okay. It's pretty standard evolution card. Nothing special. Really, you only run it if you really like Ventus Neleus. Then we got Diamond Trox. Apparently, he's considered one of the better evolution cards for Trox. Not too bad. Then we have Titan Trox. Energize the top 2 cards of your deck uncharged. Then we have Diamond Trox Ultra. Wow, I really wish I had a Diamond Trox Ultra, but unfortunately, just not that lucky. Then we have Diamond Maxo Ultra. He's pretty good. Then Hyper Trox Aquas. Interesting, but I mean, it's pretty vanilla. I can't wait for Titan Trox to come out for Aquas. Then Hyper Fangzor. This guy is actually pretty good. 1,000 B power for 4. So 4 is a bit higher than, like, I mean, it's not super high, but it's not super low. And I mean, when you draw 3 cards when you play it, so you can stack it and then draw cards. And then we have Titan Dragonoid. Titan Dragonoid is the reason why I don't want, like, I don't know. Aquas Dragonoid isn't that good. It's exclusive to the set, and then the set isn't that good. I mean, the stadium, and then the stadium is just cardboard, right? So, I don't know. I'd rather not spend that much money on a cardboard when I can spend it on cardboard that gives me cards that I can use in the game. Then we have Diamond Serpentine Ultra. It's okay. I mean, not okay. 6 energy to play. Not that good. Then we have Hyper Pegatrix. Now, this guy, he's the reason why I want to play a shield deck, like a mono aqua shield deck. Because, I mean, 900 plus 400 B power if it lands on a shield. That's crazy. You know? Then we have Hyper Serpentine Ultra. He's not that much better than Diamond. I mean, he's worse than Diamond. I don't know. Why'd you want to run him? Then we have Hydra Soldier, 1500 B power. But, I mean, he costs so much. 9 energy. Insane. Then we have Diamond Hydrosis. I had a copy of him, but now I have 4 copies of him. Mainly because the English version of the releases come with like 3 copies for each language. Then we have Hyper Mantinoid Ultra Hex. He's okay. I haven't seen an Aquas Mantinoid Ultra. Huh. And then we have Oralists Howlcore. 2 energy. It's actually not that bad. You know, it's since it comes with a magic shield, it's pretty good. Titan Hydrosis. Now this guy looks really cool. Unfortunately, his original form isn't that good, and his Evo could, if his Evo was a bit cheaper, then it would have been really cool to use. But I mean, not really. Now we have Hyper Pegatrix. Hyper Pegatrix is really strong. You know, it's 1,600 B power for 3 energy. That's absolutely insane. Then we have Hyper Dragonoid. It's okay. Hyper Neleus is pretty good. And then Hyper Maxo Ultra. Then now we're at like the hero cards and whatnot. The non-evolution cards. Everett Ray. I'm not sure if I doubled in any of these, or I remember I had quite a few copies of Everett Ray. I think I probably traded that. Oh, yeah. Olivia Styles. Piercing Cry. Yeah, there's some pretty good cards for Ventus. But yeah, the flip cards aren't as fun to talk about compared to the other ones. Compared to the evolutions. Got two Magnuses for some reason. Yeah, Lightning. Close to having a playset of Magnus, and I have so many of these Shadow Breath because he comes with I think I forgot who's he come with, but I have like 6 copies. Then Prisma. Boop. And then Leah Venegas. 10 energy. I don't know, that's a little too much. Got some Chaos action cards and whatnot, and then I have quite a bit of a playset of these two guys. Not sure. I mean, Mac is probably going to be really good to use eventually when we start having battles where it's like, oh, you need higher B power. No, you need to do higher damage to win. And then the Chaos cards over here. That's just another Kernel Trap. Trip. Oh, I have more cards. I didn't know that. Then Song of Fire. +5 energy. That's crazy. Then we have Barbara Kouzo. She's okay. And then we have Tripod Theta. I don't know. This was from a dog tag that I got from Walmart. And we have Bill Kouzo and then Sin Deus stand. You know, Hot Potato and all that. And then there's a few more cards over there. But yeah, that is... Whoops. But yeah, that is my Bakugan Battle Planet collection. So anyways, yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe or don't. I'm not the boss of you. You can do whatever you want. You can like it if you like it, but I don't know. Yeah, that is my entire collection. I know some of you have been wanting to know how many Bakugan that I have so far, and this is all of them. So anyways, this has been Young Blader, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.